The all-magical flower called marijuana.
Babe, come on, we gotta film.
Someone say film? Hey guys, what's going on? 6 steps. Go get your favorite 7-year-old and tell him I just jumped 6 steps. Bet he won't jump that.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to be filming another fitness video today with Greg, with Santa, with our teas. Greg is clearly very excited. Today we are doing a fitness Q&A. I asked you guys for questions literally like 20 minutes ago and there's hundreds to go through. I said ask anything. You guys loved the last video so much that we were like, oh my god, let's film another one ASAP. We are gonna take turns asking each other the questions and then I think we'll both kind of give our individual responses. Although I would say Greg and I have a very similar approach to health and fitness. Obviously we're different. As I always say, everyone's body's different, everyone's mindset's different, everyone has different priorities. So I wanna make sure we hit both because it could help, you know, different people watching this.
Let's do it.
You have any input?
I'm nervous. Like what do people ask?
Oh, they ask crazy things. They asked for ass pics of you.
We can provide. Where's my OnlyFans? Link in the description. OnlyFans/Greg. Someone needs to pay these bills.
Anyway, let's pull up our questions. I don't know if Greg knows how this looks, but when I ask you guys questions, they come through like this.
Wait, they're like replying to things that we said last time. Like, you guys actually like the video. That, 1 second.
You didn't realize that?
I'm new at this.
Yeah, they did like the video. Sorry, that was my stomach.
Speaking of the house shaking, let's just go right down to the dirt.
The dirt.
How do you deal with the scale? That's how the person typed this. I think the way you should answer it is like, how do you make sure you maintain a healthy relationship with the scale?
Oh, I just don't use it that often, to be completely honest. I like to look at like how I look in the mirror, how I look in photos. At the beginning of my journey, I would say it was a little bit more important to use the scale because you're gaining muscle and losing fat and it's a little bit difficult to tell what's really going on.
I'm dealing with that right now, it's really annoying.
But I actually had a really hard time looking at the number back then because I was just in a very bad place in my life. Greg remembers. I was unable to look at the number on the scale. So Greg would actually weigh me each weekend. I asked him to, and he would say, oh my gosh, this week you lost 0.5 pounds. This week you lost 2 pounds. He would just tell me how much I lost. I didn't actually know the number that it was until later on.
Maria had no idea what she weighed until like, you want me to say what the number was?
Sure.
Maybe 220 pounds. So we lost like 30 plus pounds until she knew what she weighed.
So I started at what?
Like 250 plus. I mean, I have it all written down in my notes still because I would write down each week.
Yeah, so my original weight, for those of you who are new, was like 250 pounds, 245 pounds. Now I'm usually around the 150s. So right now I'm probably like 155 pounds and I'm 5'11", just so you know.
There are so many variables, especially for a female, that can affect the scale, right? So like water retention, if it's that time of the month, you're going to retain water. If you're dehydrated, you might be retaining water. If you have a high sodium meal, you might be retaining water. All of those things will make the weight on the scale or the number on the scale increase, but that does not mean that your body fat increased, right? And you need to accept that. So the best way to go about it would really be, if you have to weigh yourself every day, which I understand, and if you want to do that, you can do that. Just try to take like a weekly average or even a 10-day average. And if that 10-day average is doing better or going with your goals, assuming your goal is for that number to go down, is better than the last 10-day average, then you're on track with your goals. And really all we care is that by the end of the month, we're seeing that goal. And we're in it for the long haul, we're not in it for the race. If you're in it for the race, change the channel.
How do you deal with the scale?
I weigh myself every day, every night actually. Like I just am kind of obsessed with keeping track of everything.
Love that. And obviously if you ever have had an issue with like obsessively checking the scale or restricting yourself too much, I would just not touch the scale.
It's not necessary for a successful journey at all.
Okay, time to find Greg a question.
Oh.
Some of these are just personal questions. If you're plateauing in a calorie deficit, what should you do?
All right, so number one, if you're in a calorie deficit and you plateaued, assuming that plateau was for a few days, because remember, there's other variables that could be affecting your weight, then you are not any longer in a caloric deficit. I know that's very hard to accept. That's almost definitely the reality of the situation. So you need to change what you're doing. You need to either increase your expenditure, so increase your exercise, or you need to decrease your food intake. And that just needs to be by a little bit more. So that could just be an extra 10 10-minute, 20-minute walk a day. That could be decrease your calories by 100 calories from your carbs or your fats. I wouldn't decrease your proteins. And aside from that, if you feel like you aren't comfortable lowering your calories anymore, which only you can make that decision, then perhaps change your macros where they're coming from, right? So if you're currently eating low carb, high fat, maybe switch to low fat, high carbs. Try some new foods, or just try to like change something that might be stalling the progress, but chances are you're not any longer in a deficit.
I'm gonna answer that from the perspective of like someone who maybe isn't tracking and is just trying to stay fit. I kind of hit a little bit of a plateau recently, and I think it's really easy to get stuck in a routine. Even for me now, like you become comfortable with certain exercises, you become comfortable with a certain diet, and then you hit a point where you're like, my body isn't changing, I'm not where I want to be at. It can be tough, but you gotta switch things up. Like we just got this new assault bike that I got Greg for Christmas, and I'm gonna start incorporating some HIIT into my routine now. I'm trying to get some more fats in and do a little bit more exercise during the day. My message is that plateaus happen to everyone, and all it takes is a little bit of trial and error and change.
That was such a great point. This is one of the reasons why our guides and our new Slay app coming out. No workout is the same because the body loves to adapt. So if you're doing the same stuff every day, then you're actually going to not be burning the same amount of calories every day. So you need to change it up, because then your body's going to just burn more calories without necessarily training for a longer period of time. I think we knocked that answer out of the park. Home run! Home run! All right?
Let's get more in frame.
All right, sorry. All right. On average, how long are your workouts?
Oh, I have the fastest workouts you've ever seen. My workouts never even hit an hour, I don't feel like. I think my max workout is like 45 minutes. I do a full weight training session with one muscle group. So maybe I'm training shoulders, maybe I'm training glutes and hamstrings. Some days I'll do like full upper body, and even then, probably max 45 minutes, and I end with abs, which takes 10.
We make our pre-workout at like 6 a.m. and we're normally done training well before 7. Well before 7 a.m.
I don't like to feel rushed. I don't really enjoy that feeling. So we do get up very early to make sure we can work out before we have to go to the office. Working out is a priority for us. So never more than 45 minutes to an hour.
And generally, just because if you're wondering how we work out in the morning, we do generally work out fast. Normally the first thing we put into our body is our pre-workout, maybe a glass of water. Have our pre-workout from Bloom. I'll normally have high energy. Mari normally has a normal energy. Then we knock out our workout. Then it's normally 6:45, 7. We'll have a protein shake, start to get ready a little bit, then make some eggs. I know you probably see Mari's breakfast every morning in her story. It's like eggs, bacon, bloom greens, and then head to the office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I see a lot of beginners asking like, how can that be enough to train just for 30 minutes, 40 minutes? It's not about doing the most you can. It's about consistency, and it's about like in that one moment, in that one exercise, doing the absolute most you can and doing as many reps as you can.
Yeah.
Pushing yourself with the weight, pushing yourself. It's a very like in the moment sport. That's how I think of it. Like give your all to each exercise. And that doesn't mean that you have to train for 2 hours.
And if you are giving your all to each exercise,
you're shot.
It's pretty tough to train for more than 45 minutes.
Yeah. Now I ask you.
Yeah, let it rip.
Okay, I think this is a good one for beginners. Sometimes you're doing really well and suddenly fall off. Tips for consistency.
That's something that we are both dealing with right now with the holidays. If there's one thing the holidays are great for, it's getting some amazing gifts, like this necklace I just got Mari. But what they're not good for is they throw off your routine. We struggled with this. We had leftovers in the fridge for a few days. There was a little more alcohol consumed than maybe we were comfortable with. As a result, we were like, all right, we'll start back up tomorrow, but guess what? We were food and alcohol hungover the next day. Our whole routine was kind of messed up. We ended up sleeping in, so that 6 a.m. workout was out the window. So you take a day to kind of get yourself together. We take an evening to make sure that our next day is going to be good. The next day that we feel like we can, we start with a fresh slate and we get right back where we were. Assuming it wasn't too long, I think that you can just start right back where you left off. If it was like 2 or 3 weeks, a couple months, then yeah, I would start back at like the beginning of a program or back where you started. Take an evening, set yourself up for the next day, you know, make sure you have some clean groceries in the fridge and just get back where you were. Oh, and also there's no guilt with the holidays. There's no guilt with taking a few days off. No one is perfect 365, and if you are perfect 365, you're a boring person. Tell that person they're boring.
You gotta live your life.
Yeah.
But one thing I would say is tell yourself that it's so much easier to keep a habit than it is to get back into it. It's way harder on yourself when you take a week plus off to get back into things. Even for me, if I'm really not feeling it today, I would rather go out there and do a little something than not at all, because then I'm thrown off. Then I don't know what to do with my time. Then the next day I feel thrown off. I'm like a creature of habit. I really like to keep a routine. It keeps my head good. It keeps my day good. You know, if you go work out and it wasn't your best, you still went, you still showed up, and it's still a habit. You know, when I started my fitness journey, I was terrified of the gym. Sometimes I would go and end up just leaving because I was so intimidated. My thing was, I just have to get there every day. Even if I just walk on the treadmill for 10 minutes, because it helps you develop that habit, and a habit is key in slaying your goals.
I think your answer was way better than mine. Is the app free? So first of all, this app, to be blunt, cost us over $150,000, okay? That's how much money we are into this app for. That is coming out of this pocket right here in Mari's pants. It came out of this pocket. We invested into this app using the best app agency that we could come across, used trainers to help develop it, used everything that we learned from the 100,000 plus people that have used our guides, from their feedback, and have created a completely new program in these apps for the home and the gym. Version 1 releases January 1st. I'm sure you guys have seen it. We're making lots of noise about it. It is not going to be free. It is going to probably be the most affordable fitness app on the market, and that's how we like to roll around here, because we want to be available for everybody. But no, it is not going to be free. It was not free for us, but we do promise that we're giving it for the lowest possible price that we can, and that's because we want as many possible people to have it.
Just to put it in perspective, like, it's a little bit difficult to tell from the screen. Greg and I are the employers of a number of people. A lot of people during this pandemic lost their jobs. Greg and I were able to hire them and give them a career and help them grow, and we can't pay those people if we give our products away for free. Our number one priority whenever we release anything is putting it at the most fair, affordable price possible and making it a great product. And that is why we're at the point we're at now. Slay is an entirely new program. It is the most affordable program I've seen on the App Store for fitness. I'm so excited to show you guys and share it with you. And again, almost all of you are so excited to support us, and I appreciate the positive vibes so much. But to those of you who are expecting it to be free, that's just not how things work, unfortunately. But we're so excited we were able to list it at such an affordable, fair price. Sips tea.
You guys aren't ready for this. Tell me how you incorporate the all magical flower called marijuana into your routine. Would you use it on a diet?
You're asking me this?
Yeah, I'm asking you this because this channel is about mental health, physical health, stone health.
I guess we're getting a little real in this video.
This tea is boiling hot.
We're getting real, guys. This is scandalous. Okay, well, I've never actually spoken about weed on my channel, but now that Greg has asked and thrown it into the mix, I did not know he was gonna do that. We will talk about it. For a very long time, I was one of those people that felt like weed was for lazy people or for people that were unproductive. I kind of was anti-weed. As most of you know, I have borderline personality disorder, which is a very serious emotional disorder that I've been dealing with since teenage years. For a while, it controlled my life. It incorporates PTSD, anxiety, depression. It is quite the disorder, so it's very painful. I've gotten to a point where I manage it now without medication, which is great, but I do have a super demanding lifestyle with our work and business. And the one thing I've found that helps me calm down, turn my brain off, and prevent me from sometimes having panic attacks is marijuana. I use it only at night to go to sleep and to calm down. And honestly, it's one of my favorite and most helpful tools I've found for my mental health. I've mentioned it a couple times on Instagram, and a lot of you ask me how I handle the munchies. That does happen sometimes. It's a little tough, but what we used to do is just have berries or like a yogurt, just something. Now, honestly, we have it right before bed, so it's not like I'm like in the kitchen able to munch or anything. Greg uses it too, by the way. I'm gonna throw you under the bus while I'm at it.
And we live in California where it's legal.
Yeah.
We used to live in Colorado where it was legal. We're huge advocates of marijuana. We actually hate alcohol. We do drink some alcohol socially or on date night or whatever. We have yet to see a single negative side effect for using, THC.
I think that alcohol use socially, and if it makes you feel good and it's not affecting your goals, is great. It definitely triggers my anxiety and makes me feel awful, so I really try to avoid it except for a couple of glasses of wine on a special occasion.
That being said, whatever your opinion is, we love everybody. If you have a different opinion, that's great.
My next question for Greg: what are your future goals goals, any New Year's resolutions. Love you guys. We love you.
In terms of fitness, I guess like my weight is normally kind of all over the place. Like I'll get like super lean if we're going on vacation or if it's summertime, and then in the wintertime I'll gain a lot of weight and maybe I'll like claim that that's to get stronger or whatever. I'm hoping as I'm aging to kind of keep that more at a consistent, stagnant level and just kind of have a more functional physique. In the past, I was probably 20 pounds heavier than this with all muscle, and I felt a little stiff a lot of the time, a little less functional. It was tough to run. It was a lot of weight on my knees, like 220 pounds. And now that I'm closer to 200 pounds, I'm feeling way better and I want to keep it that way. My energy's way up. I'm sleeping better. I can do everything I want to do. I can dance.
Greg is like a very extreme person, so he'll like take a diet very extreme. He'll take a bulk very extreme. So I think he's just trying to be more athletic year round.
Yeah, more athletic. So that's why you see us like on like the bike and doing more athletic workouts and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm really enjoying that.
That's actually my goal too. In the past, I used to do the same bulk cut situation. Now, honestly, for my job and for my happiness and my mental health, I prefer to just be healthy and consistently athletic year round. And I'm trying to incorporate a little bit more faster movements. Still weightlifting. Weightlifting is my love and I will always do it. But I'm just picking up the pace, trying to get my heart rate up. I want to do a little more cardio. I just want to be confident and I want to keep learning more about nutrition. I'm super into cooking. We're getting really into cooking.
Soon after.
Gosh.
We're in California with the lockdown.
Yeah.
So we can't go to restaurants, which is normally our thing. And so we've just been going to Whole Foods, getting all the ingredients and going crazy in here.
And I feel like normally it's like just Greg's thing, but I've kind of been dabbling in helping. I'm his sous chef and it's honestly such a fun bonding activity. Even if it's not necessarily a healthy recipe, our cheat meals, we always cook like the most extravagant chicken parm or whatever it may be. And I would like to keep doing that. And
yeah,
like,
and they're quality ingredients. I mean, who cares if they're high calorie, right?
of course.
Yeah.
So I want to keep doing that.
I cannot wait for 2021. It sounds like we're gonna have a good year. Give me your top 3 favorite foods to be on a fat loss diet with.
Before I say this, food is not magic. There are no foods that are gonna make you lose weight. There's a lot of beginners that think like, if you eat chicken, I will lose weight. That's not what it's about. It's about your daily intake overall. It's about the numbers, it's a science. So if your favorite influencer eats asparagus every day and she's losing weight, it's not the asparagus, it's her daily calorie intake. Okay, but my top 3 favorite foods on a diet: avocados, number 1, eggs, and honestly, probably like a protein powder because it's really fun and you can add it to anything. Like I love to make a smoothie. I'm getting in like this fruity, delicious drink, but I'm also getting in protein. And obviously the only protein powder I'll use is Bloom's.
Yeah.
No, but literally.
Protein in smoothies, on-the-go shakes, in our yogurt, in our oatmeal, in...
You can use it in so many
I
things.
make pancakes with it. Like
I would say
2 times a week.
protein or collagen. They're just easy to throw in everything and they make things a lot yummier. So
Yeah. What's your favorite flavor?
of what? Collagen or protein?
Protein.
Probably strawberry. I'm a strawberry girl.
Wow, I always forget that about you.
What's your fave?
Right now,
Strawberry milkshake.
iced coffee or caramel macchiato. I'm a coffee drinker.
Our iced coffee is insane.
It has real decaffeinated coffee in it.
Yeah, you can see the coffee beans. It's really freaking good. That's probably one of our best selling flavors.
Definitely.
Okay, now I ask you.
All right, right. Sorry, what am I doing?
You seem to be very confused about this concept.
Flashback.
Now I ask you.
Yeah, let it rip. What is this complex video we're doing?
I have a question for you.
All right, go.
Did you get lipo?
No, these hips don't lie, B.
So I see this question all the time. I think it's a good one to ask Greg. What are your thoughts on intermittent fasting?
You know, I think people like to put like labels on all of these diets, and in reality, when I was a kid, it was all about like not skipping breakfast, and breakfast was the most important meal of the day. Then when I got into bodybuilding, they were like, never skip a meal and eat every 2 or 3 hours, otherwise you're gonna start eating your muscle. And I never really like fell for any of those rules. I always just kind of tried to eat a nutrient-dense diet. That being said, right now I'm fast. For example, right now it's 1 p.m. My reminder does say be happy. That's how we live. And I just feel better this way. I feel like I can focus way better. I do it more because I have severe ADHD, and I try not to take pharmaceutical drugs for it, which is fine if you decide to do that. I just find that it keeps my blood sugar way more stable and I can focus. I don't do this every day. Most days, if I am going into the office, today we're working from home, I will have breakfast before I go. I won't have carbs because I find that helps my ADHD. But today I'm fasted. I feel great. I didn't work out this morning, so I didn't feel like I needed to have that shake afterwards or have breakfast afterwards.
But just to give some perspective, I can't do that. If I tried to fast right now and I got to 1, I wouldn't be able to film. I'd be very grumpy. I would have 0 energy. For me, it doesn't work. I have to eat almost immediately after my workout. For some people, it does work.
But if you're asking because you think it's like some secret, it's not a secret or anything. It's like if you just feel like skipping breakfast, skip breakfast, but make sure you're having those calories later in the day. Don't use it as you skip breakfast and then you eat the same lunch and dinner or whatever it may be. If you skip breakfast, you have to eat more later in the day. Do not start under eating and using intermittent fasting as your excuse. If it makes being on a healthy diet more realistic to just skip breakfast or to skip a late meal later in the day, and that helps you stay on a consistent diet, then yes, it will help weight loss.
Ask me a question.
Right.
Abby's probably like, what are these idiots doing at this point? Any New Year's resolutions?
The all magical flour. Stoned health.
Greg and I are the employers of a number of people. Thanks for dealing with this, Abby.
Top 3 favorite supplements that you would take during a diet or to help with a fitness journey.
Fish oil.
Wow, curveball.
I know I keep bringing up mental health, but it's literally my whole life and it's the reason I'm able to even do fitness, in my opinion. Fish oil. It's so good for your brain. If you have depression or anxiety, please take a fish oil. It's made my memory so much better. Whenever I remember something from like years ago, we call it a fish file because like we credit it to the fish oil.
Wow, we're so lame. I'm realizing that as
Fish oil, greens, on a diet, oh my gosh, greens, literally, guys, take your greens on a vacation. I know none of us are really going on vacation right now, but if you're doing like a cheat meal or a celebration or you're going away, I took them to Puerto Rico when we got engaged in January, and I was eating like all this stuff my body's not used to, having pina coladas, and I was waking up with abs every day because of those greens. I was having greens twice a day. They save you with bloating. They're also just amazing for natural energy and immunity, which is so key right now, and they have tons of fruits and veggies in one scoop. So definitely greens. Third one would be collagen. I think collagen is amazing, especially for females. It's great for gut health and inner health and bones and joints and super important things. But on the plus side, it also benefits beauty, hair, skin, nails. Look guys, can you see? I'm waiting for them to be focused. Okay, well, my nails have literally never been this long in my life, and I've been on my collagen game lately in my smoothies, and I think that's why. Collagen is just like a really essential supplement, I think, for everyone.
Healthy body, high protein diet. I mean, you're gonna crush your goals if you just have those, and then, you know, everything else is obviously a cherry on top.
And I will link all those supplements down below. They're all on bloomnew.com if you wanna check them out. Obviously, we own the company, but we just are obsessed with health and nutrition as it is. We love talking about it. So I think that's it for our Q&A. I hope that was helpful, guys. Next, I'm thinking of filming like a fitness myths video. There is so much crazy information out there, and I was thinking we could discuss what information is true. Kind of like a conspiracy vibe video. Like,
we've tried everything, and we know people who have tried everything. So please ask away, and we'll tell you.
Yeah, let us know in the comments below what you think of that video idea. We love filming these. Cheers to another great video.
Cheers to spilling all this tea.
Cheers to Greg bringing up marijuana for no reason. Love you guys so much. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe. We will see you in the next video.
Thanks for having me, guys.